What up, people? Welcome to the Push of Our Black Show, Bearscast for Week 8. I'm your host, Christian. Well, Bears win in a boring one against the Jets, 24-10. Mr. Trubisky was 16-29 for 220 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. Yay! He didn't throw an interception today. Plus 51 rushing yards. This wasn't a bad game. This was just a boring one. Weather was rainy and cold, so it wasn't a shootout. Everybody expected this to be a shootout, apparently. Both teams tried to run the ball. Bears were more efficient at it, outrushing the Jets by 122 yards, 179 yards for the Bears to 57 yards to the Jets. Mitch was inaccurate, but there wasn't too many stupid moments. That pass with about 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the half was one of those what do you see in moments, which he's going to have. That Anthony Miller catch in the red zone was awesome, where he threw between the defender and Anthony Miller caught the ball. That was cool. That screen from Mitch to Tariq Cohen, where he basically outran everybody, was awesome. And, Jordan Howard had a rushing touchdown, and he had a pretty decent game considering. This is one of them games where, quite honestly, he should have had 100 yards, but, you only do what the coaches call, right? Defense did what they were supposed to do, even though Khalil Mack didn't play, which I think was a good thing because it was rainy, the field was slick. Soldier Field has bad field anyway. There's no reason for you to be out there when he hasn't been effective for the past couple weeks anyway. Chill out with this one. Game was boring, man. Sam Darnold didn't even throw picks, which is what he does. I think he has 10 touchdowns and 10 interceptions in this season. So, and he had a reputation of throwing picks in college, and he didn't even throw any picks. He had a pass where it was almost a pick, but I forgot who. I think it was Fuller. It was a jump ball, and the receiver caught the ball, and Fuller missed it by like 3 inches. But other than that, man, it was pretty boring, uneventful, some would say ugly game. Kyle Long got hurt at the end, though, and I watched this game twice. I normally do these as soon as the game is over, but I wanted to watch it again just to see if I can do anything, if I can make this any longer than it's going to be. It doesn't look like it's going to be a very long one, though, because it was pretty basic. I'm glad they won. It was an ugly one. I'm assuming that the Bills game is also going to be an ugly one, but you never know. Mitch played okay. Mitch overthrew people. Didn't do a lot of dumb decisions. I'm just going to resign myself to the fact that he's going to overthrow people this season. So I'm not even going to look at it as he overthrew people. Like, doesn't matter. And defense played like they were supposed to play. There was a couple of stupid decisions. Not stupid decisions, but there was a couple of silly plays. There was a play that didn't matter because he caught the ball where he got the ball. Tariq Cohen touching the ball on the punt return and jumping on it real quick before a Jets player got it, because the Jets player didn't see it or didn't take it seriously. Otherwise, that would have ended very badly, because Tariq Cohen was lackadaisical with the return, realized he touched it, got back on the ball. So, and that penalty that Eddie Jackson had, that unnecessary roughness penalty, was stupid. But it affected the game, sort of, because they were able to score, but not really. Just numbers, I guess. Do want to say one thing about Cowboys and what they did this week, and let me go to because I forgot the name. Hold on. Yeah, I forgot the name. I'm only doing this because, excuse me. Yeah, Amari Cooper, and I knew the name, but couldn't think of it. I couldn't think of the name right away. If this is if the whole reason for doing the Amari Cooper trade is, and I'm not gonna do a separate one on this because I tried to, but I couldn't get the person that I wanted to get on the show when it happened. Tried to a couple times, couldn't do it. If the whole reason to get Amari Cooper is to show you what Dak Prescott can do, and so you don't have to pay him, then you already know what the deal is. I'm not saying Amari Cooper is a bad wide receiver, but he was second in the league in drops last year, and he had a down year last year. He was having a down year this year. He's 24. That's about the only good thing with this trade that the Cowboys made. If your entire reason for doing this is to prove that Dak Prescott is a good quarterback, then he isn't, because you had a receiver that was developed. You had a receiver that was developing in a quote unquote X receiver in Gallup, and instead of being patient after that Washington loss, you felt the need to panic and get Amari Cooper. I'm not saying that it isn't going to work, but it might not work, because if you're going to ask Dak Prescott to throw the ball down the field to a receiver who drops the ball, and the whole reason you let go of Dez is so you can the whole reason you let Dez go is he drops the ball, and he wasn't happy that he was getting catches. I don't know what this will do. Like, if you put Amari Cooper in the same position that Dez is in, and you tell him to run the ball, you tell him to run streak routes, and Dak can't throw that route, then what are you doing? You've basically given up your first round pick for a quarterback that you already know the answer to. But it is what it is. This is the Bears thing. I didn't want to put this thought out there on a separate thing. And plus, this makes it a little longer. But yeah, man, not upset about this game at all. Bears win. I'm happy Bears win. They're supposed to win. If they would have lost this game over some nonsense, this probably would have been a very, very angry little Bearscast here. But anyway, I'm out. Sorry this wasn't longer. But when an ugly game like this happens, it is what it is. See y'all next week. Later.